The topic in particular right now is going to be the directions. There's not a whole lot to say about directions other than that when you go into an SAT and they say you may now begin and you then have 25 minutes to complete 20 questions, you really should not be wasting your time reading the directions. That does not mean that the directions are not important. What it means is that you should really know what the directions are and what's expected of you before you even walk into the test on test day. And so my suggestion to students is this. Before you get to SAT day or before you even get to SAT preparation, what you should do is you should go to your high school guidance office where they're going to have SAT preparation booklets. You can also get them in public libraries, or you can go online and get something like that. And what you should do is you should look at a sample SAT test, and you should really take a moment or two to read the directions of each section, look at the sample problems that they post for you to see exactly, what you're supposed to do. You should look at the formula block that comes before the math sections, and really you should know each one of the formulas very well before you go in for the SATs. If you find yourself on an SAT test, for example, in the math, having to flip back and look at the different, formulas on the 30, 60, 90 triangle or the 45, 45, 90, Pythagorean's theorem, stuff like that, it's really a waste of time. It's really something that's only going to slow you down. Now, obviously, if you're doing the test and you've forgotten something, you should flip back in order to get the answer. You shouldn't say, oh, I can't, I'm not allowed to do this, I need to keep moving. No, you should definitely look back and get yourself the information you need. However, what I'm saying is that you should really go in knowing that stuff cold. The other thing that I think you should do before you actually get to the SATs is, again, you can, get a sample answer sheet in one of those booklets that you can get at a guidance office or a public library. And what you should do is you should just walk through at some point before the test, bubbling in your name and, the school code and the kind of information that they're going to ask you to fill in on test day. And I think if you've sort of done that once, when you get there on test day, it's not going to seem as weird and foreign, and you're not going to have this outer body experience of this whole thing just seems weird to me. You're going to know exactly what to expect, what kind of information you need. Do I need my social security number? Do I need to know my home address? Do I need to know my zip code? Stuff like that. Figure it out before you get there, because if you don't, even you can get rattled, let's put it that way. You can get rattled before the test even starts. And you really want to minimize that opportunity. And so hopefully if you take the time now to go and figure out what the directions are, to look at the math formula block, figure out, what's expected of you, and to maybe practice once filling in a sort of answer sheet with your name and all the relevant information that you need to put in, I think you're going to have a much better experience on test day, and that will hopefully help you maximize your score.